Good afternoon, PDHP parents and community. I'm Carrie Ann Fitzgerald from the Program for the Development of Human Potential. Thanks for joining me for What's Good Wednesday. If you've been following along, you know by now that our What's Good Wednesday becomes the practical experiential piece to our Mindful Mondays. So we do all these different practices and techniques to kind of give us a sense of more mindfulness in our lives. And who doesn't need that more than now at this point? But of course, beyond times like these can be great go-tos. I always think about the fact that we didn't learn this as kids. We didn't learn this in a parenting class. But these are things that we can use for ourselves. We can use them for our families. And they carry over into our lives. So I hope you find them helpful. I just want to go back for a minute or two, okay? So I just want to remind you that our PDHP counselors in Brooklyn and Queens, as well as our diocesan guidance counselors, each week provide the schools that they service with a letter for the community. In those letters, there is such a wealth of information, ideas on mindfulness and self-care and grounding, art activities, enrichment activities, physical education, family tips. So much is available in those letters. Prevention, of course. So please definitely make yourself available to that when you have a chance, because I'm reading them weekly and I'm saying, wow, there's so much great stuff here and such great reminders, even for me who, does a lot of this practice myself. So I really am enjoying them. So I hope that you will too. So as I mentioned that last week I had shared with you a picture that our Queens PDHP counselors and prevention education specialists had shared. So it's a coloring page. So if you scroll back down, you can find it. Coloring is great for anyone at any age. More and more, I'm even hearing adults who are, during this time, reconnecting with little artsy, crafty things that they like to do. And even if they're not maybe artsy, crafty, things like putting puzzles together, those tactile experiences. People are trying those. A friend of mine said that she's trying mandalas, drawing, coloring in those very intricate patterns, coloring pages, adult coloring books, mindful coloring books. So this can be the same thing. So if you have a printer, print one out for everyone in the family and have a coloring night, okay? If you don't have a printer, then you get an extra art activity. Draw a beach scene. But one thing you might want to set up is to have a starfish as part of that beach scene, because there's an activity that goes along with that coloring page. And it's starfish breathing. So it's teaching kids how to use their breath, how to be conscious of their breath, how their breath makes them feel. Using the breath as a tool to ground us, using the breath as a tool to regulate the nervous system, using the breath as a way to have a coping method. Okay. Now think about this. It's great now when we're feeling anxious. I can't see my friends. I don't understand the schoolwork. I'm scared, right? It's also great on a day-to-day basis. Think about the things that kids go through. I often think of their school day. Coming out of the car or walking up to school or coming out of the bus, taking a breath before they walk into the building. Taking a breath before they walk into their classroom. Before they change classes. During a test when they get nervous. Before a presentation to calm themselves. So this is something that they can use at all times. It's something that we can use at all times. I remember using this technique sometimes in the rush of a day as a new mom going into my 8th grade classroom. And as soon as I would get my toes to the threshold of my door of my classroom, I would take a deep breath. I'd let it in, I'd let it out, and I would cross over that threshold, ready to start the day with those kids. And it just transitioned me, going from mom, going from commuter, going from, whatever role I was playing before, to just settling me in the space that I'm in. And oftentimes when we do workshops, we do these grounding activities. Last week, you joined me for a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sensory practice. Again, things that we have with us at all times. The breath, our senses, okay? So today, let's do a 5-point breath. So a lot of times when we are starting up, I'll ask you to put your feet flat on the ground and really feel your feet supported. Feel where you're sitting supporting you. And focus on a spot. A lot of times, I might want to ask someone to close their eyes, but we don't always feel safe doing that, and that's okay. We're not comfortable. It's okay. Sometimes it may just be focusing on a spot in front of us or across from us. Or in front of us, not down, because you could crank your neck a little bit, just a little bit ahead of you. If you're sitting in a classroom, sometimes when I do these with parents or teachers, we talk about looking at the desk in front of you. Okay. This is when we can notice, where's the tension in our bodies? Feel it in our necks, in our shoulders, our lower backs. Strangely enough, I've been feeling a lot of tension in my hands, and I've been really mindful of that, just relaxing those muscles during this time. And that settles us a little bit. Maybe even right now, I'm hoping that you feel a little more calmer. So let's do a 5-point breath. So of course our hands, and I love this for the little ones because they are so tactile. So again, that idea of you're working with your hands are always with you, and breathing in and out. So what you're going to do is trace the outline of your hands, of your fingers, each fingers. And as you go up, you're breathing in. And as you go down, you're breathing out. Okay? And, your goal is maybe you want to breathe in a little more deeply each time. Breathe out and extend it a little bit more each time. Just notice how you feel. Okay? So let's try it. Ready? Okay. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. So think about it. After going through that, how do you feel? Maybe you need another breath. Think about using that with your kids, teaching them it. Where can you teach them? It's a quiet activity, maybe right before they go to bed, maybe right before you serve meal when you're all sitting together, maybe right before you start your remote learning, before you go outside for a meal, as I said. And if it feels funny to you, it might. When we learn something new and we're teaching something new, it is awkward. So that's normal. And a lot of times parents will say to me, oh my gosh, but they're laughing. They laugh at me. Don't let that discourage you, because remember, for kids, it's play. It's fun. But you've also just taught a skill without realizing it. It's something that they can go back to. So don't let that part discourage you. Worst comes to worst, show them my video. Let me do the breathing part with them. Try it together. Just model it out, and they'll be able to get that sense. The trick with a lot of these is it's not just a one-stop shopping. So, if you do it once, yeah, it feels great. You've got to continue to do it. So once you find one of these maybe techniques that you really like, try it again, practice it as much as you can. Because what happens is it then becomes the norm for everyone. Okay? So remember, 5-point breathing, starfish breathing. Enjoy it. Have a good Wednesday, and I will see you on Friday for our Family Fun Parent and Teen Edition. Have a great day. Bye.